Welcome everyone, today we're going to be talking about the future of Apex Legends in 2021. Believe it or not, this game will be 2 years old next month in February, and it's crazy to think this game has been out for 2 years. Just take a look at how the starting screen used to look when Apex Legends first launched. Now, I want you to comment down below what you were doing when Apex Legends first launched 2 years ago. Were you playing other games, or are you an OG? Were you playing from day one? So 2020 was a great year for Apex Legends. We had 4 seasons. We're currently still in our 4th season. We had 4 new legends join us. We also had 2 new weapons as well. We had the Sentinel. We also had the Vault SMG, which is now my favourite gun in the game. But this year is going to be their biggest test as of yet. The game's now 2 years old and many people are finding it quite repetitive. What can they do to ensure that it's going to thrive in 2021 with the competition as well? Because every year there's always new battle royales joining the genre. I just want to say, bearing in mind we had a pandemic, we've still got a pandemic going on. They managed to do really well last year in the situation they were in, still giving us 4 seasons, 4 legends, and the schedule was still on point to what they originally planned. So big props to you, Respawn. Now, I'm by all means not a game developer or any creative director, but I think I've found the reason why many people didn't enjoy 2020 for Apex Legends, even though we got all of these new seasons, legends, and weapons as well as loads of LTMs, collection events. And I think the reason why is because they didn't focus on content outside of the game itself. I want to speak about LTMs a little bit later on in the video, but at the moment I want to focus on content outside of the game. Right now, there's a problem with Apex Legends where you're going into the same game, you're doing the same thing, there's not much progression in the game, and you don't feel like you're working towards something. Now, if we take a look at a competitor, Fortnite, I know I said the name Fortnite, please don't go mad in the comment section or anything. Fortnite has something called the Fortnite Cash Cup. Now, if some of you guys play Fortnite, you would have heard of the Cash Cup before. I personally have never competed in it. In fact, the last time I actually played Fortnite, there were these kids building these 5-star mansions with swimming pools in about 3 seconds, and I just completely left the game. But something Fortnite does really well is create content outside of the game itself. So for example, these tournaments that they do involving cash, Apex Legends could do weekly Cash Cup tournaments, weekly and monthly Cash Cup tournaments. They could call it the Apex Legends Showdown, and they could make it EU, America, the eastern side of the world, and they could do this every week, and that would give us something to look forward to. For example, let's say in Europe, every Friday from 6 PM, there will be 2 hours in which you have to try and get the most points you can. The top 10,000 people in the leaderboard get 100 Apex coins. The top 5,000 get 200 Apex coins. The top 1,000 get 500 Apex coins, and something crazy for like the top 10 players, something like 1,000 Apex coins. If they could do that recurrent every single week, then that will just keep players interested in the game, and the days that this is not on, people will be warming up for it, getting ready for it, and also looking forward to that day when it arrives as well. I think right now the game is in a very good state, and there's only so much content they can bring into the game itself, such as legends, weapons, before it gets very saturated. And I think people are forgetting that it's not all about the content in the game, but it's rather the rewards and also stuff outside of the game that counts just as much. Another thing is that I feel like we felt a very big disconnection with the progression in this game. We don't feel like there's much progression, so there's not many unlockable rewards, for example, challenges. We do have challenges in this game, and when they do release collection events, they do add prize trackers where we can gain, free skins, free unlockables, but they don't give us things to actually grind for. I'm talking about for many weeks. Let's take a look at Call of Duty Cold War. They do a very good job with their camos. It encourages you to grind for weeks and weeks, if not even months, to get the best camos in the game. You have to go through each SMG, each challenge on the SMGs to unlock specific camos, and when you go to bed at night, you feel like you've actually worked for something. Well, you're still playing a game and you've essentially wasted your life, but you guys get what I mean. When you have unlockable content and challenges you really need to grind for, it feels good and you want to jump onto the game to play it as much as possible. At the moment, I'm jumping into Apex Legends and there's no progression. The only thing I'm trying to do is beat my highest kill game and my highest kill damage. That is the only challenge I'm trying to do, and that's more of a personal challenge. So I think this year they need to start giving us more unlockable content and some better challenges to become more engaged with the game, because at the moment there's a very big disconnection. I think having a weekly tournament set out and also a monthly tournament with better rewards is the way to go, and it will get everybody excited. Now, last year there was a huge backlash with the LTMs. I can remember reading so many negative comments about the LTMs because many people feel like they were recycled, which to be honest they were recycled LTMs, or they were taken and just revamped slightly. One of the developers did mention why we were seeing recycled LTMs in new collection events and different events, and that was because they didn't want to spend loads of time and money into creating a brand new LTM with new areas on the map, new mechanics, all for it to just be in the game and have its moment for a few days before getting removed. And do you know what? It makes sense. I wouldn't want them to spend loads of months creating an LTM which is only going to last a few days for it to then just disappear, and all of the time that they've spent creating it has gone to complete waste. Instead, what they could do is focus their time on thinking of other ideas they could do to create more engaging content outside of the game itself. The only time I think they should add LTMs is when they're trying to experiment with something to eventually bring into the standard game. For example, when we saw that Evo LTM game mode, it's very clear that they wanted to add Evo shields into the original game, so they brought it out as an LTM, tested it out, it went very well, and then they eventually added the Evo shields into normal games. And that was the same with duos. They experimented with duos as an LTM, it went down very well with the fans, and then they eventually released it. This is what I think they're going to do with the LTMs. I don't think they're going to waste all of their time, energy, and of course money into creating an LTM that's only going to last a few days. I would rather have new challenges, new types of tournaments than have LTMs and other things that are just going to consume the devs' time and money. By the way, something I'd love to see in 2021 is, first of all, a private game mode option where you can go in with friends. We still haven't received that yet, and the game's been out for almost 2 years. It would be nice to either host a private server or just create a private game, be able to jump in and just explore the map without random enemies. I think that's something they need to do this year, and it would be nice to have a theatre mode as well, although theatre mode isn't necessarily that important. It will just be a nice thing to have in the game. Of course, the most important thing with any game in order for it to stay alive is the content. If they're not going to produce enough content, they're not going to stay up there with the competition, but I do truly think they're prepared for this. We know we're going to get new legends this year. We know we're going to potentially get new weapons, as we do with every season, although they didn't include weapons in some seasons. I'm not sure if that's because the weapon pool is quite saturated, or if that's just because they didn't have enough time to make new weapons. But we know we're going to get in-game content. That's something that we know is going to happen with every season, but I would love to see content outside of the game itself, such as a theatre mode, or, you know, weekly tournaments, monthly tournaments, unlockable content, things to actually grind for. And if you guys can think of anything else you'd love to see this year, be sure to let me know down below in the comment section. But more importantly, how do you think Apex Legends is going to get on this year in 2021? Be sure to let me know that down below in the comment section. But nonetheless, I'm going to wrap this video up here. Thank you all for watching this Apex Legends video. Enjoy the rest of your day. And as always, I'll catch all of you guys out in another brand new video. Take care.